Gotcha.
Okay. So, hi, Selena.
Hi, Julie, tout temps.
So, for people out there in the world, and for me, I don't even remember where you live. Where are you right
Oh,
now?
that's funny. Well, I'm in that time of space and place on the earth where people normally drink a wine at this time of the day. I'm in Brussels, close to Brussels. I'm in Belgium, so I have no idea how many hours after you I am, or ahead of you. Or how do you say that? Ahead, after,
Ahead, I think.
whatever. It's 6:30 in the afternoon. I've already lived your day. You know. Now
Was
I
it a
lived.
good day?
It was a full
What do we
day.
have to look forward to?
It's a full day, Julie. It's a full day. Just get prepared. It's going to be a full day for you too. Full of sparkles and full of joy and full of whatever you would like to have it filled with, I guess. Right?
Cool. Yeah. And isn't it so true that that's what it is? It's like whatever we think, oh, it's going to be a terrible day. You create a good, terrible day because you're that powerful.
Oh, what if it's like sometimes with all the tools that I have in hand, I sometimes wake up in the morning and I'm like, ugh, one of those mornings. But there is a trick that I do sometimes. Sometimes I get naked on my terrace and I drink a coffee and then I ask my husband to take pictures of me. That's a different kind of game. If you're into it, you're into it. If not, not.
I've seen some of those. I wondered how you did that.
Well, it's
So
very.
you get your husband to take those photos and he knows that you post them online.
He knows, and but this is such a whole story behind it. Started like, I guess, 2 years back. I can't remember exactly. I know exactly what the picture was. So when you, as a woman, I don't know about you, I hope not, but after giving birth to 3 kids, I always looked at my body as some kind of, now you're done, now you're, look at you, now what do we do with it? Blah, like discarding my body. And I remember it was in the month of May, and we had the first full sunny day in Belgium. Well, if you haven't been to Belgium, let me inform you that you can have sun all day long, but you can add the minutes, like 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, maybe 5 minutes by sunset, if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a full day of sun. And I don't know what got into me. I just got undressed with my coffee in my hand. And I asked my husband, take a picture of me. And he's always into pictures and he's always like looking at me differently. He took that picture. I looked at it and oh boy, how I judged it. And I said, you know what? I'm in Access for a while now and I'm still not willing to look at my body as it is. All I see is judgment over judgment. And I see my mom judging me and I see the ladies from the covers who would look at me and judging me and I posted that picture. And from that first picture on, everything just shifted. I was like, okay, let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. And now it's really, truly one of the go-to tools, Selena tools, when you wake up, and when I wake up and I have a shitty morning, I get undressed, I take my coffee, I take the nicest cup that I can, that pings me, and I just sit there and ask my husband to take pictures. Sometimes it's my kid too. So that's really interesting because adults, you can play well, nakedness, but when kids come around, that's a whole different game. They look at mom, what are you doing there? Drinking, why do you have to be naked? And I find it so funny because we don't have too many people around who are embracing nakedness as being part of your daily reality. At the end of the day, all you have is your skin you're in, right?
So true. So true. And, as a child, as a baby, and you run around naked, you're just so full of joy. And people are like, oh, that's so wonderful. Because there's the freedom and there's the no judgment.
Exactly. And
Wow.
well, I will have to say that there is a lot of judgment. I perceive a lot of judgment of people who are watching or looking at those pictures. But there's also an enormous amount of gratitude. So basically, these pictures taught me to receive gratitude from people. I never planned it like, okay, now let's do a photo shoot outside and let's see what people will say. But I was really touched by a lot of private messages coming to me and saying thank you for showing this, for showing that this is possible. And it's such a, like, this is a different type of body. I'm not a photo model or anything, but I can still have fun with it. So
well, there's
yeah,
definitely a joy that comes through. And when I look at your photos, I don't see judgment. I just see this expression of exuberance and
that is
almost adventure and fun, and like I'm doing something you're not supposed to do, but I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
doing something naughty. Oh, there's an anecdote. At some point in the summer, my neighbors were doing some repair work on their roofs. What they have some little buildings next to the house, and they were doing some works. And I just got out, took my clothes off, my coffee in my hand. I just sat there, and all of a sudden, it sounded very quiet. You know, when you perceive that there is something like an awkwardness. But I looked around. I said, "What? Children are not home. There's nobody around. What is it?" And then I looked up and I saw my neighbor looking down, and I was like, "Oh wow, would you like a cup of coffee?" The moment of embarrassment, it was a surprise for him, but he surely was a surprise for me. However, we went into laughing about that. It wasn't like, "Oh my God, what did you see? Oh my God, what did you show me?" It wasn't anything to show, but it was this fun moment of surprise. What if we allowed ourselves to have these surprise moments in life more often than we do right now? And it's like, wow, when I started drinking those coffees, I was like, I didn't know where I would be reaching. But it's so much fun because now I get to dress up. I mean, I put some flowers, or I put how do you call that, a tiara or something. I have accessories, and that makes it even funnier for me. So
That's so funny. It's reminding me of I used to do this show showing my jewelry, and people would buy it and use it for whatever, for where they're speaking in public and they want to show up and look a little more elegant. But this one lady said to me, "I'm going to wear this when I wear nothing else at all. It's going to be my naked necklace." It's like, that's awesome. I love it. And she's like, "I'll just tell my husband, don't buy me lingerie, buy me jewelry to wear in bed."
that's I'm having it. Look at my butt. It's like, I'm already wearing the Julie Tuton, which you were
I remember
making me. Yeah,
those
they were in
black
Mexico,
opals.
and they're black opals. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, so I was like candies, but mysterious and just a bit glimmerish there. I'll take, well, you know what, they haven't been out for a photo shoot, with a naked photo shoot. I'll make one and send you one.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Maybe you should create a naked photo shoot challenge.
Oh,
That could be kind of fun.
and okay, well, okay, how do we do that? How do you think about that? What would that be?
I don't know, just like post your photo.
Anybody interested? I mean, I know we're live on Facebook, so who would like to start this challenge of post your photo? Watch out, because Facebook Meta thingy is pretty picky, and you would be.
Maybe we should create a group, a container for it, and
maybe, but this is just an idea. This is fun. Well, why not? I mean, hello, why not? I would actually encourage people to do something fun for themselves. I remember one of these days, so I can't remember
Maybe I'll
exactly, I
do
guess.
some naked jewelry photos. I think that would be.
Naked jewelry photos.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm like,
maybe it would grab some attention, you know. I gotta like figure out this whole advertising thing. Maybe that's what's missing.
well, what do you know? You take your cup of coffee, you go on your terrace, and you
I
know.
need a person to take the photo.
Oh, no. You
set
can
it
do
up.
it with a stand. You can do it with a stand. There are
Okay.
plenty of pictures that I took of myself only, like selfie style, selfie modest. Takes a bit more of, organizing yourself, but you can. It's absolutely, and no worries. You will possibly go through a lot of layers, like, no, I like this one, no, I don't like that one. Oh my God, this one is, until you allow yourself to put yourself out there with all the joy that you are. I mean, it took me a lot of time. And sometimes I asked, okay, so I asked my husband, now you come and take pictures of me. And sometimes he takes hundreds of them. And it's only one that makes the final cut.
Yeah, I get it.
But I like it. It's like, so I said this was my first go-to tool when I wake up like crazy, or I exaggerate everything. So
yeah, because whatever it is that gets you out of your head, I even woke up this morning with like all this stuff in my head, and I was like, no, we're not doing this today. Hello, I don't care who you are or what's going. No.
I get you. It can be crowded in the morning, especially in the morning. It can get crowded. Now, when you're fluffy and relaxed, and I don't know how you wake up, but I wake up when all my neighbors wake up. When they start to think, I'm like, my neighbors are up. And this is when, if I'm really cranky and I have my mornings, like I didn't drink anything and I still am cranky, then I exaggerate everything. I learned this from my son. He's such a vavavoom type of guy. Like everything is a telenovela. And after I do it for 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, cool. Can we move on?
That's hysterical.
I'm happy nobody records that, because if that stays for posterity, I don't know, maybe now it works, but in 5 years I wouldn't want people to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was never dramatic. I was just like, even keel, peaceful person, and other people would be exploding around me. And I'm like, what is the big deal? Why are you making this so important?
How do you do that?
I have no idea. It's just my natural way.
Well, that's funny, because to me, it's like I go into this exaggeration because I can't. So it's like if I'm a bit upset, I cannot shake it off, so that I go to not in the denying of it, because it's going to, but I exaggerate it until it disappears. But I wonder how is it that you can just, like not be interested? What do you do when you have a cranky head?
Well, my favorite go-to tool is the expanding exercise. And I do that every Monday after coffee talk in another group. I created it many years ago when I wrote my book, Beauty and the Breakup, and wanted to create a space for people who are going through a breakup or some kind of transition that, they're like in their head and all crunchy, for them to just go and expand. Because the more you expand, the easier it is to handle everything that's going on, until it just kind of goes poof, gone. And you're just in this space. And then you get to choose what brings you more joy and lightness. But when you're all contracted and you're like, you have it all in your head and on your head, you can't even perceive anything else. So that's what I do.
That's fun. But I want you to tell me more about your book. I didn't even know that you wrote a book. So tell me more. Do you have it at hand? Can I see the
I
cover?
do. Here it
Show
is.
me.
Because as one of my neighbors said, Julie, everything you do creates beauty in the world. It looks backwards though. It's beauty
No,
in the
it's beauty.
breakup.
Wow.
And it's 6 steps to moving beyond your breakup and choosing to create your lighter and brighter future. So it's all the access tools set up in 6 steps to move you through the process of letting go and moving on and getting more of yourself. And, you know, there's a lot of people who use it and stay together. It's not about breaking up or getting divorced, but it's about having more of you and not divorcing yourself anymore.
This is cool. Can I ask your book to show me something, to tell me something?
Sure.
Can I ask you to open the book and read it for me? It's like what is it that I require to hear today?
Well, I just opened to step 2, dissolving past trauma, freedom to be you.
That's
this
cool.
is so perfect. Thank you for this. Have you ever noticed how your mind can take hold of an event in the past and you can spend hours thinking about it, reliving it over and over again, trying to figure out why what happened, and what you could have done differently? It all feels so heavy and becomes hard to get up in the morning. It's just what we're talking about.
Exactly.
When you walk through the past in your mind, you're actually projecting all of that energy into your future again.
Ooh.
Not your best choice. So how do you get out of this habitual pattern? And so I go on. And each step, like dissolving past trauma, is step 2. And so all the tools in that are designed to get you out of the trauma that you keep thinking you have. So it's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 tools. So it's really easy when you're going through a transition and you keep going back to the past. You go to that chapter, you look up those tools and you use them. And then if it's, I don't know what I want as my future, I have no idea, then you use step 3, your navigation tools. So it's just really, really simple to give people choice.
That's fabulous. And now this is why I asked, because I was actually going today into some, how should I say, re-evaluation of the past. We all know it's gone, it's done with, you will not change it. You know, those things that you will never change is your past and people around you, but you can change your perspective on it.
Yeah.
And I still found that there are some small residues, you know, that get activated, like you know, when you have that glass fiber, you don't see it, but if you rub on it, it's like. So the day was one of those days. This is when you asked me how was your day? It was full and rich. It was a day of going through, rubbing that glass fiber and being reminded there is still something to work on, and I chose to move on. Why would I go back to revisit that thing? What takes me back? Is it my fear? Is it fear, or is it excitement, or am I going to compare myself with who I was there and who am I today, and all kind of stuff? But it's like your book is like the universe conspiring.
A lot of times too, you get pulled back by other people who are reliving it. And so you get sucked into the energy that way. So it's also important to ask the question, like, okay, are they thinking about this? Are they thinking about me, or am I thinking about them, to get out of it?
But it's also what I also kind of tapped into is that some people resurfaced in my life. We were resonating at a certain level. How should I say? We had common interests. Let's say we were dwelling in the same less rosy situations at some point. I made a different choice. I see these people And I'm kind of looking at them, why didn't you change? Why do you throw it on me that I changed on you? Why did you make your choice to change? But this doesn't bring you anywhere. Of course it doesn't. It was just this realization of mine that, oh, well, I used to resonate this way. I used to be this way. Can I have gratitude for whatever changed in my life and whatever didn't change in their lives, because it wasn't their choice.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, let's have a coffee on it. But it took me a while.
Yeah.
It took me a while.
That's tough, that's where the work is, in being an allowance of what everybody chooses, including ourselves, you know.
Well, that's the tough part. I mean, hello, I can be in allowance with the stupidity of others, but it's a bit, I still have some work to do with being allowance and maybe being stupid.
Don't
sometimes.
we all? But it's a whole lot less than it used to be. Right?
Actually, yes. And it's not that it's only less, but it's less relevant right now. So who cares if I'm stupid? I'm going to suffer the consequences if I don't make a different choice. But it's not like my head is going to fall down as it used to be back then, or, well, whatever. How does it get any better than this? But you know, sometimes you have these small moments. I have them when I go inside myself and I'm like the little grumpy troll, and but then it's over much faster than it used to.
Oh my God, so much faster.
I
know, I think about that. Like even the other day, Saturday, Global Bars Day, Gary and Dane were talking about how, you know, just like, because you're choosing this and you're going on this journey of consciousness and using the tools doesn't mean that every day is going to be roses. Like, you'll still have challenges, and you just don't go as low, deep, and for as long, because you can recognize it coming on. You go, well, wait a second, what is this? And the more you can be present, the easier it is to look at what's happening and change your choices so that you create a different outcome. And like, I think there's so many things out there that just to distract you, to keep you at the effect of things, instead of like, okay, what is this? What do I choose?
Absolutely. I mean, it's I can't remember when you opened the book and you read the first sentence, that how many hours we used to dwell on the same events in the past, why and how can I get it differently. I don't remember when was the last time when I did that, but I can be intensely asking questions about how do I outcreate that? How do I get over it? How do I, like this, and it doesn't stay as a sort of a reference for me. So at that point I was this or I was that, so that I don't have the tendency of going back to, oh, I used to be that, or I used to be something else. But I saw your cup there. Show me your cup. This is cute. Where does it come from? Oh my God.
This is Christian Dior.
I knew I had to ask about it. Tell me the story.
It was China that I selected when we got married. And my parents bought us several sets. What do you call it? Place settings. I liked it because of the gold, and it had lotus flowers and stuff. And I was really into meditation. And I think my husband liked it, but it's hard to tell now at this point if he was actually in it or not. We were married 20 years. And then when we got divorced and I wrote the book after that, we did it in the kindest way. And we're like, okay, so do you want this? Or, well, that was mine. And you take it and whatever. Like, we just divided everything up. And anytime we had an issue and couldn't resolve it, we would run each other's bars. And so it took
that's totally out of this world. That's
it just
totally
took all of the stress and all of
wow.
out of it. However, this was my idea. And after the divorce was final and a year later, he went and like got back into his head. He left Access, he stopped using the tools, and he made it the reason that we got divorced, when it was actually the reason we stayed together for 5 more years.
Wow.
So yeah, his life changed in that way. But for me, it was like, wow, anytime you have something that you can't handle, you think it's bigger than you get your bars run, and then you have all this space and you can handle it again.
This is fabulous. I mean, I know the global bars, they just passed, but I'm looking forward to the replays. Not sure whether all of them are there.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
I already okay, cool. Because I know for the translations, I translated a segment, and I know the translations are not yet there, because this is like this huge enterprise to have 20 languages and 10 hours of streaming. It's immense. But I'm like encouraging everybody in the family, in the house, and myself to go look back at some of the segments. And what I love in the whole program was the small snippets in people's lives, what bars do in people's lives. It's like, because I met it so many times. This is the bars. So this is the method. You put your hands on the head. But when you hear people talking about that, and you see their faces, and to me, it takes a whole different dimension. I can tap in all those people who are linked to that person somehow, and all benefiting from the smile on the face and from the space that you're just describing. And you gave me an idea now that in the evening, what would it take for me to run my husband's bars?
Yeah, we would do bars in a movie,
Bars in a movie today?
Yeah. You would run his bars and watch a movie, and the next night, or 2 days later, he could run yours and watch a movie or whatever.
My oldest son ran my bars on Avatar. It was very special. I cried the whole session, but it was at the end, it was such a, what do I know? What do I truly know? Mm-hmm. What do I know? And I don't want to know, because I'm stubborn and I don't want to know. And there was this huge space that opened up. So really, 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 truly grateful. And thank you for the tip of running the bars when things are not going round, smooth. Run your bars and see what that gives. It's truly an inspiration for me.
Yeah, it's great. Because a lot of us don't have many problems. Our life is pretty easy. And how does it get easier? And how does it get more joyful? But when you do have things come up, get your bars run.
Totally. And ask a question. Maybe you don't know yet the bars, but you can ask a question. That's for sure. How does it get any better than that? Even if you don't really want for things to get better, because you're so, just ask the question, see what comes up. You'll love it. I mean, wow.
And Gary also used to say, you created this mess, enjoy the hell out of it. Like, if you like creating disaster, acknowledge I am a grand and glorious creator of disaster. And then when you want something different, you'll create something different. And what if it's not a problem? What if you're not wrong?
What if you're, oh my God, thank you for this. It's like, it goes in the same line with exaggerating in the morning when you feel like nasty, goes in the same direction. If you create the morning to be nasty, enjoy it and see what else. But that's the thing with the judgment. But I guess this is the topic for a different coffee talk.
Yes, and I have to jump on my Expand Space to Unwind if anybody wants to join.
Cool.
It's free.
Put the link of your book somewhere in the comments.
Oh, that's a
For
good
some
idea.
of us who would like to buy it from across the ocean, you know.
Yes. And I do have the audiobook
Oh,
and
wow.
the PDF on my website. It's also in Access Classes and on Amazon.
And how does it get any better than that? But thank you so much for having invited me to have this chat with you. It's fun to see you there in your castle, in a
This
chateau.
is my dining room / studio.
It's your castle, and I love it. I love it so much. I love you with this
Aw.
space of kindness. I'm like, what would it take? I would like to see you more in the world somewhere. Who knows where? Let's ask where. But
Yes.
until then, I know you have to jump off. I will give you a huge hug somehow.
Love you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks everybody for watching.
And have a wonderful day.
Bye.